Have you ever noticed that very few doctors in the conventional healthcare system ever stop to ask why? Very rarely do they pause to look deeper, to connect the dots, or to talk through natural, drug-free solutions with you. Instead, they often rush to slap on a label, to hand over a prescription, and then just send families on their way. Autism, ADHD, anxiety, sensory processing disorder, and oftentimes it's no different in the holistic or functional medicine world. Lyme disease, MTHFR, PANS, PANDAS, those labels are handed out like candy with the same silent message underneath. This is what your child has. Get used to it. They'll probably have it for life. But none of those diagnoses, no matter how advanced they sound, actually answer the question that every parent is desperately asking. What is really going on with my child? Because here's the truth. Labels don't heal. They don't calm the chaos. They don't help kids sleep or speak or smile again. But that's exactly what today's system is built to deliver. Labels instead of answers. Diagnoses instead of direction. It's time we flip that script. Let me give you a statistic that should stop every parent in their tracks. 40% of children today are living with at least one chronic health condition. And some studies say that it's now closer to 50%. That's 1 in every 2 children. We're talking about skyrocketing rates of autism, ADHD, asthma, anxiety, autoimmune conditions. But these diagnoses don't come alone. They come with a lifetime subscription to appointments, prescriptions, and more confusion than clarity. And it gets worse. Recent meta-analyses show that prescriptions for antipsychotic medications in youth have risen by 50% to 200% in the last 2 decades. Kids are being medicated earlier, longer, and more intensely than ever before. And what's the first step on that path to chronic medication? A diagnosis, a label. That label becomes the ticket to a lifetime of medication, and very few practitioners, if any, will ever stop to ask what caused those struggles in the first place. They're also very hesitant about taking that label off of your child's chart. Now, to be fair, let's talk about the good things that a diagnosis can offer, because for many families, a formal diagnosis is the key that unlocks necessary services and support. It can mean access to school-based services like IEPs, speech or occupational therapy, and classroom accommodations. It may also qualify a child for insurance coverage or state-funded programs that wouldn't otherwise be available. It can provide some relief to parents who've been dismissed, allowing them to advocate more effectively. And it also helps explain behaviors and needs to teachers, to caregivers, and to other professionals. But here's the issue. The very same label that opens doors can also close minds. All too often, that diagnosis becomes an identity. Instead of a child with autism, it becomes an autistic child. Instead of this is a phase that we're working through, it becomes this is who they are and will always be. That subtle shift can be devastating for a child. We see children begin to internalize the idea that they're broken, that they're incapable, that their condition defines their future. Parents too, feeling stuck, helpless, like there's a ceiling over what's possible for their child. This leads to what we call the medication dependency cycle. The diagnosis leads to medication, which masks symptoms, but doesn't address the root cause. So when symptoms return, the answer is more medication, higher doses, more diagnoses, more confusion. It becomes a narrow lens that focuses solely on managing symptoms rather than understanding the child's nervous system, their development, or their underlying stress load. But what if there was a different way? What if instead of piling on labels and medications, we got to the root? What if we stopped asking, what's the diagnosis, and started asking, what's the cause? At Foundations Chiropractic, we've helped hundreds of families do just that. We use advanced neurological insight scans to measure the exact level of nervous system stress and imbalance. We don't guess. We don't rely on symptoms alone. We get measurable clinical data that helps us see what's going on beneath the surface. And more importantly, we build customized, neurologically focused care plans that help calm the chaos, restore function, and unlock healing. Because here's what most people don't realize. ADHD isn't just a behavior issue. Autism isn't just genetic. Sensory challenges aren't just personality quirks. They are signs of a nervous system that's stuck in survival mode, fight or flight, 24/7. And unless you address that underlying dysregulation at the level of the brain and body connection, true healing just does not happen. So if you're a parent who's tired of collecting labels, you are tired of feeling like each diagnosis only adds more confusion, more stress, and more medications, And if you're ready to finally get some real answers backed by real science and start walking a path toward healing, not just coping, we want to invite you to take the next step. Click the link in our bio, send us a DM, or comment below to learn more about neurologically focused chiropractic care and how it may help your child and your family. Let's get you some answers. Let's find the root cause, and let's start your child's healing story, one that's written in hope, not labels.